Welcome to Coach's Corner, everybody. Thanks for watching the podcast, as this is the Goode and Faithful Servant show every Monday night. I am your host, Paul Tripoli, Coach Tripp, and my old teammate, Kerry Goode at Bama, the great All-American running back, wisdom-filled. You know, he has ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, has lost all ability to move his body and can't even talk anymore. But with AI technology, he thinks his word is into the computer, and it spits it out in his own voice. So we're thankful for that. And we tackle his book. He wrote a book, Goode and Faithful Servant, and we tackle a chapter every week. This week, we're actually on day 133. He breaks up his chapters into 196 days. And this is episode 48. Who controls your thinking, your mind or your body? Remember, these are in Kerry's words. I just asked the questions. Kerry says, the polar bear plunge is an event held during the winter where participants enter a body of water despite the low temperatures. People dive into this icy water for fun, charity, physical health, and vigor. There's a lot of interesting research about the health benefits of taking cold showers. After a tough practice or game, athletes take an ice bath to reduce the swelling and recover quickly. As athletes, we often use the term, get your mind right, because athletes know that if our mind is right, our bodies can do amazing things. But the greatest lesson learned here is far simpler. It's to make a statement about who is in charge, the courageous side or the cowardly side of you. The side that doesn't flinch at discomfort, or the side that desires to always be comfortable. The side that does the hard thing, or the side that takes the easy way. The purpose is to become the kind of person that can do it. How do you expect to do things that scare you, that scares others, if you haven't practiced them? How can you trust that you'll step forward when the stakes are high, when you regularly don't do that when the stakes are low? What gives you any confidence you'll do the hard thing when people are watching, when you can't do it when no one is watching? The person that does something scary every day is less fearful than someone who can't. The person who does something difficult every day is tougher than someone who doesn't. As Romans 5:8 explains it, quote, the mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the spirit is life and peace. Wow. Okay, KG, here's my first question for you about this chapter. These phrases, get your mind right, mind over matter, no mind doesn't matter, your body can do amazing things, it's your mind you have to convince. Okay. Kerry, I was screaming these phrases to our defensive teammates in the 1983 BC game in Foxborough. 95% of our teammates had never even played a game in that cold. It was brutal that day. Talk about the challenges of that type of dynamic to get your mind right.
Thank you to everyone tuning in today. We appreciate you, we honor you, and we're grateful you keep showing up for these conversations that stretch us, challenge us, and remind us who we really are, who controls your thinking, your mind or your body. And we're diving straight into the deep end, or should I say, the icy end. Oh, brother, when you brought up that 1983 Boston College game in Foxborough, I felt that cold all over again. That was weather. That was a personality test. That was the kind of cold that made you question your life choices, your scholarship, and whether Coach Bryant really loved us the way he said he did. You're right. 95% of our guys had never played in anything like that. Alabama boys don't do Arctic. We do humidity, thunderstorms, and the occasional cold front that lasts 36 hours. But Foxborough, that was disrespectful cold. That was your eyelashes freeze when you blink cold. And that's exactly why your voice mattered so much that day. When you were screaming, get your mind right, mind over matter. Your body can do amazing things. It's your mind you have to convince. We weren't giving you us slogans. You were giving us survival instructions. Because in moments like that, the body is loud. The body is dramatic. The body is a full-blown toddler throwing a tantrum in the grocery store aisle. It's yelling, I'm cold, I'm miserable, I don't want to be here. Somebody call my mama. But the mind is the adult in the room. The mind is the one that says, we trained for this, we prepared for this, we belong here, and we're not folding. That game taught me something I've carried my whole life. In including into this ALS journey. Your body reacts, your mind decides. When the cold hits you, when fear hits you, when discomfort hits you, your body wants to retreat, but your mind can step forward. And when your mind steps forward, your body has no choice but to follow. That's why the polar bear plunge analogy is so perfect. It's not about the water. It's not about the temperature. It's about proving to yourself that you, not your fear, not your flesh, not your discomfort, are in charge. That day in Foxborough, we learned that the cold wasn't the opponent, our comfort was. And once we got our minds right, the cold didn't stand a chance. Romans 86 says it best. The mind governed by the flesh is death, but the mind governed by the Spirit is life and peace. That day, we chose life. We chose peace. We chose to rise above the cold, literally and mentally. So, Paul, when you were yelling those phrases, you weren't just motivating us, you were teaching us how to lead ourselves. And that's a lesson I still live by today.
Wow. Thanks, KJ. He's full of flowers, brother. That was a brutal game. Wow. Mine had to be right there. All right, let's go to question 2. Wrap up the show. KJ, expound on these powerful impact statements that you had. Quote, the person who does something scary every day is less fearful than someone who can't. And the person who does something difficult every day is tougher than someone who doesn't. Talk about this subject, KJ.
Oh, those two statements are really about spiritual conditioning, mental conditioning, character conditioning. They're about who you become when nobody's watching and nothing is on the line. Fear doesn't disappear because life gets easier. Fear disappears because you get stronger. And strength does show up on command. Strength is built in the quiet, repetitive, unglamorous moments when you choose courage over comfort. When a person does something scary every day, they're not chasing danger. They're training their spirit to stop flinching. They're teaching their mind that discomfort is not a threat. They're proving to themselves that fear can bark, but it doesn't get to bite. And over time, the thing that used to paralyze them becomes the thing they step toward with confidence. That's why the person who practices courage becomes less fearful than the person who avoids it. Avoidance feeds fear. Action starves it. The same is true for difficulty. Toughness is built on game day. It's built on the days when you don't feel like doing the hard thing, but you do it anyway. Every rep of discipline becomes a layer of armor. Every small act of perseverance becomes a break in the foundation of resilience. When you do something difficult every day, you're not just completing tasks, you're shaping identity. You're becoming the kind of person who doesn't fold, doesn't quit, and doesn't negotiate with excuses. And that toughness shows up when life throws something at you that you didn't see coming. I'm living proof
Mm-hmm.
of that. ALS didn't make me strong. ALS revealed the strength that was built long before the diagnosis. Strength from winter workouts, strength from football, strength from faith, strength from choosing to rise every day when it would be easier to retreat. So those statements aren't motivational slogans. They're a blueprint, a lifestyle, a daily decision to become the kind of person who can face the storm because they've practiced standing in the rain. Do something scary, do something difficult, not to impress anybody, but to prepare yourself for the moments that matter. That's how courage grows. That's how toughness is built. That's how you rise.
Wow. Courageous, toughness. Man, you got it all, KG. So well said. That game, Kerry says, that game in 83 taught me something I carry with me to this day. The 83 BC game was a personality test. And Paul, you weren't given us slogans, you were given us survival instructions. Your body reacts, your mind decides. Not your fear, body, or discomfort are in charge. Your mind is, says Kerry. Wow. And these two statements, they're about mental, spiritual, and character conditioning. He says, fear doesn't disappear because life gets easier. He says, fear disappears because you get stronger. And finally, avoidance feeds fear, action starves it. Wow. Some great advice. What a great show, Kerry. It's a short show, but you're the star again, everybody. go back and archive and see some of the other episodes. Kerry, we're weaving through his book. We're probably 3/4 of the way through his book. So thanks for what you do, KG. Thanks for your inspiration, everybody. God bless you, man. And thanks for watching the show. Stay tuned for these great messages. Without these sponsors, this show wouldn't be possible. Have a great sports week, everybody. So long.
When it comes to buying your next car, truck, or SUV, you need a team that puts you first. Here at the Sandy Sansing dealerships, we're proud to serve Pensacola and the Gulf Coast with the best selection, trusted service, and deals that work for your family. Just like great coaches build great teams, Sandy Sansing builds lasting relationships with every customer who walks through our doors. Because when it comes to finding your next vehicle, there's only one name to remember: Sandy Sansing can.
For 30 years, you have seen the orange Beck signs all over the Gulf Coast listing a property for sale or lease. Beck Partners is your trusted advisor in commercial real estate, property management, commercial and personal insurance. Senior Vice President David Valletto has been with Beck Partners since 1989. Take advantage of his wealth of knowledge by calling him today at 982-7352. 982-7352. Extensive experience in all aspects of leasing, sales, management, and site selection will make sure your expectations are exceeded.
My name is Steve Reynolds. I'm the manager and owner of Cordova Lanes, and we help keep your mind out of the gutter. Cordova Lanes is part of the community of Pensacola. Being here for 43 years, we've entertained more people than any other bowling center in the city. We sell-fund for a living. Cordova Lanes is located at 2111 Airport Boulevard in Pensacola, behind Cordova Mall. Come on out and see us at Cordova Lanes Bowling Center. Thank you.
Arbitrium Consulting for all your fencing, landscaping, pressure washing, tree trimming needs. Call 850-483-0350 for your free estimates. Serving Pensacola, Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, Destin, Perdido, Gulf Shores, Foley, and the entire Gulf Coast. Arbitrium Consulting is owner-operated, fully licensed and insured. Call today, 850-483-0350, the official landscaper of Coach's Corner.
Did you know there's a place where you can get good neighbor service and surprisingly great rates on your home and auto insurance? Yep, and that place is, ta-da, State Farm. Here's the deal. State Farm agent Will Rentschler is your go-to agent in Pensacola, Florida for the service you deserve at the price that you want. So stop shopping around. State Farm agent Will Rentschler has you covered. Call 850-433-4678 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Legal disclaimer, individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.